going up the damn elevator.
Hello, YouTube! Qapla! It's Bird of Prey 5. Why am I still hearing... Oh, the sound was up. The sound was up. Sorry about that. I had 2 minutes to get everything in order and I forgot to lower the sound. On YouTube, I even forgot to bring up the tablet until about 30 seconds to go. Wow. Okay. Qapla, welcome to Bed Life. For today, August 23rd? Yeah, August 23rd, 2019. It's a Friday. And I decided to implement a kind of 2.5 minute pre-stream credits roll or something. I don't know what. Countdown. Just to give a chance for some people to come before I start talking. Just so the first, 30 seconds don't all get cut off for absolutely everyone except Thomas Potts. So that's where we are. It won't always be Hank Scorpio burning people for 2.5 minutes. Don't worry, I've got some other ideas. And today was just going with the Simpsons theme, which I'll get into in a minute. But let me read some chats. I already got some super chats. First, Thomas Potts was first, as usual. Hi, Thomas, at 509. John Araki, hashtag FreeUpPoo, right after. And Cinnabon Bunny, also at 509, says, hi, welcome, Cinnabon Bunny. Cinnabon also says, hashtag Alpaca Life. Josh Street says, is that bird burning down the fox after they called Kuroga a fifth world country? They don't need to call Kuroga a fifth world country. They're apt to be burnt down at this point regardless, but no, it's not me, nor would I do it, nor do I have means to do it. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla. Hello and Qapla, not Ryan Johnson. John DeMarco says hello all. Welcome, John DeMarco. Thomas says, I don't have us to switch on a table. I don't have to switch on a tablet. Well, that's good. I do. I put everybody in the text. I did text them to remember to go to live chat, but you're right. Mamo Pray, please guys remember to switch on over to live chat. And what? And Mamo Pray is waving to everybody. So that's, there we go. John Street says, Bird, you still owe John from the sassy stream you killed. That was not a sassy stream. That was an unfortunate mix-up. But you are correct. I do owe him. Let's see. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this, John? We'll do Jadzia Kiss, Deep Space 9. That should bring up a video. There we go. Let's see.
I missed him so much.
Oh, I better mute the audio. We don't want that. We don't want that. They've missed each other so much. Aw. Oh, there you go. There you go, John Araki. That was for your $1 super chat on the stream I inadvertently started the other day. Very, very sorry about that. So here you go. You got it. You got it, buddy. All good. We are square again. And Let's see. Get back. Thank you for reminding me, Josh Street. I honestly, I had forgotten, but I'm glad you reminded me. John Araki put in another $2 super chat. But let me get to his other ones first. Thomas is Bird of Prey. I'm happy to give you Monopoly money. Well, thank you, Thomas. I'll take Monopoly money, too. John Araki with a $1 super chat before I even started. Thank you, John Araki. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Josh Street says, Thomas, Monopoly money is worth even more than the Kurogan dollar. First, Kuroga uses rounds, not dollars, or Monopoly money. Second, that's a lie. Josh Street is lolling at, Thomas is lolling at Josh. Thomas says, Bird, you should play your crying. I was never crying, so there's nothing of me crying I could play. Cinnabons is Bird of Prey. Yeah, didn't change the title, building my station. Well, that makes more sense. Cinnabon Bunny was live before this, building a gigantic structure in Space Engineers, and it looked like a very nice space station. It did. Joseph Patrick says, hi, Joe, Mama Pray, Sassy, the Quarty community, alpacas, and everyone else who is watching. Thank you, Joseph Patrick, or Yo-Yo. John Araki with a $2 super chat. Thank you, John Araki. And Thomas says, you have that DS9 clip ready to go. Well, it's easy enough to find. Life with Matthew says, Qapla, Bird of Prey 5 and all. Qapla, Life with Matthew. Thomas says, Kuroga uses the euro. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movie says, Qapla, Qapla, Mr. Lundell. Vile Mike says, howdy, folks. Can't stay in chat as I have to drive, but we'll be listening. Very cool, Vile. Very cool. So, I don't see Anti-Trekker here yet. He may or may not get here today. But Anti-Trekker did send me this very cool Stream Deck, and it makes my life oh so much easier. With one button now, I can switch. We can go to the bridge of the my Bird of Prey. We can go to the bridge of the Defiant. We can come back to the Simpsons screen. I can switch over to the web browser. If I was playing a game, I could switch over to the game or the game with the camera. Or if Mama Prey has to go to the door, we can switch to the head floating in the fish tank. When I have to Jaloja, I can do the commercials. I can see that there are 17 people currently watching right on this, which is pretty cool. I probably should go back to the Simpsons screen. It's got the number of people. I can mute the microphone or the audio from the computer here, and I can obviously hit the start screen to start that countdown again if I needed to, but I don't. And I can cue the ending right from here, but again, we're not going to. So, it makes my life much easier, and this just scratches the surface. I can add folders and folders of other things. The custom icons I like, really pretty cool. You just drag and drop them on, more or less. Makes life much, much easier. Like I'm a big-time YouTuber now, almost. I really, really appreciate that Anti-Trekker. Anti-Trekker bought the bigger one of these. This has 15 buttons. He bought the 30 or 32 button version now. So, yeah, he needed his super chats. He had so many, he needed a bigger one. But this looks like it's working just perfect. Just perfect for little old me. So again, Anti-Trekker, a big shout out and a thank you to Anti-Trekker. I'm assuming everybody who sees this video already knows who Anti-Trekker is, since 99% of my members have come through Anti-Trekker or Nerdrotic or Doomcock, and everybody in this community knows who Anti-Trekker is. But in the slim case you do not know who Anti-Trekker is, he's a much bigger channel than my own. Please do check out his channel. I'm always in his streams. He's a very fun YouTuber, and he was very, very nice to me this week. Even though he's very, very mean to me in all of his streams, in the real world, he was very nice to me. And I deeply appreciate it. Because I was debating about buying this. I just couldn't. It was just a little too expensive for me to justify. And it's actually come in big help. I'm so happy I got it. Had I known how well it worked, I would never have put off ordering it. So Sassy can what? Yeah, Sassy can eat again now. I don't have to divert money from the Sassy Food Fund. That's good, Sassy. You're going to get food again. No, Sassy, there's no starving people or dogs in Karoga. Sassy has plenty to eat, as do we all, thank God. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Health issues, that's another story. But food, we're okay. We are okay with the food. Except that when, like, the food delivery doesn't come, or the eggs come broken, or the meat is out of date. Oh, you got it, John, Joseph Patrick, he got it, he got the cat kissing Dax. Very cool. Well, you had a 1 in 5 chance, I believe. You did it through the donation. So that's a 1 in 5 chance using Streamlabs. The link for Streamlabs is in the description, by the way. Yes. So that's where we are. I wanted to give a thank you to Anti-Trigger. And he's probably going to find something from this stream to make fun of me about later. But, yeah. It's what happens. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey is using witchcraft. Because why not? Why not? Why not say that? Why not make unfounded accusations against me? Mike Richards says, how many Karogan rounds for an alpaca? It depends on the alpaca. I mean, you got some sickly alpacas that, people probably pay me a round or two to take off their hands. But if you got a prime alpha alpaca, they can go, 300-400 rounds or more. I mean, there was one, the most expensive alpaca ever sold in Karogan history was at auction. And he had a hair patch that was in the shape of my face. So he was considered the chosen alpaca. And the Karogan government actually paid 2.3 billion rounds for the chosen alpaca. And then, of course, we consumed it in the traditional feast. So I inherited its powers. Oh, man.
Live long and prosper.
You got John Araki, got Hippie Spock. John Araki says, did you make sure there isn't a spy camera or microphone or keystroke recorder in that device the president of Kurdistan sent you? John Araki, I was concerned. I wiped it down with Clorox bleach wipes, but I think I might have been too late. I had already handled it, and now I feel like I'm getting a cold coming on. So I'm pretty sure Anti-Trigger purposely coughed on this and sent germs to me. So this was really, as nice as it was, I'm pretty sure this was an act of biological warfare. I can't prove it. I can't prove it yet. But I think I should have had Mamo Prey put this under a UV light outside for a couple hours and kill everything on it. Next time, I'll remember that he plays dirty. Josh Street says, poor Simpsons have to watch Berg Chaloja. Don't worry, the Simpsons are already dead, Josh Street. Tiki of Doom says, Qapla, rip, eat my shorts. Indeed. Alexander, welcome, Alexander. My communist friend. Alexandria, something. Alexander, not Alexander, yeah. Jesus. Alexander, thank you so much for the donation. Alexander says, I'm not suspended on your Discord. No, you're not suspended on my Discord, Alexander. I don't know why you would be. So yes, you're free to come to my Discord. DJ says Simpsons is dead. Yay, indeed, DJ. Although this is not to celebrate its death, it's to celebrate its life. It is a celebration of its life. It died in a most gruesome and sad way. Forever. Oh, wow. We're getting a few more super chats. Okay, let me keep going. We're gonna get to the Simpsons. Actually, before I get too deep into the Simpsons, Not Ryan Johnson got the $2 super chat, and he got Captain Kirk slapping himself. Thank you, Not Ryan Johnson. I will read it in just a minute. Before we get into the Simpsons stuff too much, I have some breaking news on Star Trek Discovery. Now, I put a little Star Trek Discovery logo in the thumbnail. I don't know if anybody noticed it, but it's there. It's nobody. It's the Vita Vitamin Company, like from Lucille Ball's show. That's exactly what it says. It's Vita Dash. I assume the rest. Thomas says Anti-Trigger is the greatest YouTuber ever. I don't know if I'd go that far. DJ says, hail everyone. Hail DJ. Josh Street says, breaking news. Berto Pere confirms that he is little. My little YouTube channel is what I said, I believe. Rambling Canuck says, hello everyone. Welcome, Rambling Canuck. Hope you are doing well. I know you're having some back issues. So I know you're not doing that well. I just hope it's manageable. Thomas Bot says, I got my Planet Killer Eagle Moss today. Just need those tiny circled batteries. Wow, Eagle Moss uses power these days? That's cool. Josh Street says to Alexander, you must be happy MCU Aunt May is staying in the MCU for 6 more movies. And then Yosef, going under the name Yo-Yo314, tip $2 USD via Streamlabs. Thank you so much, Yosef. Dan23 says, hey, so you like Simpsons? Dan, I loved The Simpsons from the moment it premiered on the Tracey Ullman show in 1987, when I remember watching it as a 9-year-old, all the way through the 29th season. And in the 29th season, things got bad. And then last season, the 30th season, it died. And then just 2 days ago, it nailed its own nails into its own coffin when it's released some Trump parody stupid clip. Terrible clip. It's got over 25,000 downvotes on YouTube. It had barely 2,500 upvotes. 10-1 downvotes when I saw it. And I'm only going to look at it that one. Maybe I'll go through it later, but I don't want to. Because this isn't about how bad The Simpsons has become and that it's died. The Simpsons is dead. I assume if you know what The Simpsons, you already know what went on with this Trump video. But they went full partisan. Every prior Simpsons, every time they used to bring up politics, of course they lean left. Everybody leans left in Hollywood. Everybody leaves left in entertainment. Matt Groening leans left. All the Simpsons people are particularly left-leaning, like the Futurama people. But every time they brought up politics prior to yesterday or 3 days ago, they always poked fun at both sides, even if it was just a little bit at one side and a lot at the other. This time, they killed it. They said, nope, we're going 100% anti-Trump. We don't make a single joke about the 4 easiest people in the entire world to make jokes about. AOC and the other 3 nitwits that hang around with her in Congress. I mean, you can make jokes about anything if you wanted to, but no, they skip everyone, and not only that, every single Democratic candidate is in the clip, and not one joke is made about any of them. They all are drawn, looking excellent, looking healthier, younger, and healthier and prettier than any of them are in real life. More handsome for the men, prettier for the women, younger across the board. You know, you got people who are the oldest candidates they would ever be, and they're looking like they're middle-aged in the drawings. And Trump, I'm surprised he wasn't drawn as orange as a Cheeto, which would actually, you know, I could see if they drew him orange, especially for the Simpsons, where they're known for yellow skin anyway. That wouldn't have been much of a stretch. But they draw Trump ridiculously, and whatever. You know what? They want to go down that road. The show was dead already. This just confirms that it was dead. I wouldn't even pirate the show. And by that I mean, even if somebody gave me the show without commercials at this point, I wouldn't watch it. And that was true already at the end of last season. Even commercial free, I refused to watch The Simpsons. It had fallen that much, that far, when 2 seasons before, I was still praising that show. I was still saying The Simpsons is still a great show. Is this Matt groaning? Hello? No, it's not an important message. Spam. Anyway, yeah, 2 years ago I was still praising The Simpsons. I was probably the last person on earth that said The Simpsons was still a great show. I was saying the problem with The Simpsons wasn't that it's become less funny over the last 10 years. And I could watch my sister watching the show. What is she doing when she's watching The Simpsons? She, like most people under 40, except me. Well, I'm over 40. But yeah, so most people under 40, what do they do when they watch TV? And they're not watching the television, they're listening, partially, and they're laughing at a couple of jokes here and there, but they're missing half of the Simpsons gags, because half of the Simpsons gags were visual only. You'd have no idea something funny was going on if you weren't watching. And if you're ticking away on your phone, you know, texting your friends or whatever, you're gonna miss it. And then you're gonna say, The Simpsons isn't as funny as I remember it. Of course it's not as funny as you remember it. You weren't watching it. But now The Simpsons just isn't funny. And that's sad. The majority of my life, the vast majority of my life. I was born in 78. The Simpsons came out in 87 on the Tracey Ullman show. In 89, they became their own series. 30 years of The Simpsons is a TV show, plus another 2 before it is shorts. We minus this last 30th season. We combine the 2 years of shorts into 1 actual season. That's 30 years of my life. 30 of my 40 years of life has been with The Simpsons. And the first 10 years of my life were the years I remember the least anyway. So it doesn't even matter. Except for that short time I was literally in a coma and don't remember anything. But, you know, the point is, The Simpsons has always been there for me. I was the last one defending them. And now I can't. And it's sad. Josh Street says, Alexander, you must be happy MCU Aunt May is back for 6 more movies. I read that. And Dan23 says, so you like The Simpsons? Yes, that's what started the rant. Well, Dan23, we might as well have gotten into it anyway. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey. Looks like Sony and Disney made a deal for Spider-Man to stay in the MCU for now. I just saw that right before I started the stream. very cool in a way. I'm happy. As I suggested the other day, it was a negotiation tactic, and I doubted both companies were going to leave so much money on the board, and it was really nothing worth getting upset about at this point. I hope Sony didn't cave to the pressure of all people that were attacking it, but I doubt it. Sony's a big company like that. They generally don't take crap from people. Josh Street says, I just read that. Thomas Potts is Rambling Canuck. I heard the preseason game was a disaster. Why didn't the NFL have a plan ready for a larger field? I don't know what you're talking about. Live with Matthews says, I'm pretty sure you got beat. I got you beat for embarrassing moments in a day. Life with Matthew. You would think, but no, Life with Matthew. Unfortunately, as I've told my sister, listen, on YouTube, yes, you have me beat. In general, no, Life with Matthew. The unfortunate fact is I have more embarrassment before I'm up for 2 hours than most people do their entire lives. So, that's just the way things are. Mark Andy says Alpha Packa. John Araki with a $2 super chat says, I'll take Dax the hard way. I'm glad you got Dax the hard way, John Araki. Thomas says, Live with Matthew, you aren't new here, bird. Oh, and it jumped. Wow. Wow, I'm a little behind. Okay. Let's see. You aren't new here. Bird gets embarrassed more. That's true. And there was nothing for you to be embarrassed by, Life with Matthew. For those who don't know, Life with Matthew started a live stream accidentally earlier today when he meant to just start a recording locally on his computer. So for about 20 minutes, he was live recording video for what he thought was just going on his hard drive, and he was going to edit later into a video. But instead, it was going out live to YouTube, and he had no idea he was live. He didn't see the comments. He didn't see anything going on. And it wasn't until the very end when he looked at it, and then I was waiting for a son of a bitch, but he didn't give it. He shut it off first. I assumed there might have been cursing after he shut it off. But he honestly had nothing to be embarrassed about. Thankfully, nothing happened out of the ordinary. We got to see the process of creating a video. He has actually got 9 out of 10 takes right on the first try, I would say. Certainly better than I do. Even with a script, it's better than I do. He had absolutely nothing to worry about. Actually, I feel more inadequate having seen him unknowingly go live. But it was still funny. Mark Andy says, anti-tricker cooties. I think I got him. I got the anti-tricker cooties. Alexander with a $2 Canadian super chat again says, Bird of Prey, what do you think about Captain Nazi? Who is that? I don't know who that is, Alexander. I'm not sure. Tiki of Dooms is biological warfare. You don't have to super chat, Alexander. Just put at Bird of Prey 5 and extrapolate. Tell me more about who this is. I don't know who you're talking about. Is that a superhero? Because I've never heard of them. Tiki of Doom says biological warfare sounds like turds to me, indeed. DJ says don't put it under a black light. A black light, you don't want to see what glows. I know. DJ says you know who Bird has on his mind. AOC. Yes, AOC was in the Trump video. And she was doing like freaking ballet dancing and swan dancing crap. All of them were. Now at least AOC has I have some reason to think AOC can dance. We've seen her dance. For all of her other flaws she might have, I'll say, okay, she can dance. The woman can dance. I don't think those other ones can, though. And they were all in perfect synchronization. Like they were the Rockettes or something. Life with Matthews is death by wokeness. Indeed, the most horrible death of all. Thomas Potts says all you think about is AOC. Not really. Tiki of Doom says Simpsons died in 1999 and was replaced by a doppelganger, like Paul McCartney in the 60s. John Street says Bird of Prey, the only channel they got in robot hell is where the Simpsons are now, at its Bird of Prey 5 Geologia. Bird of Prey, the only channel they got in robot hell, where the Simpsons are now, at is Bird of Prey 5 Geologia. Okay, well, Josh Street, I think I might have missed a word there, or jumbled a word somewhere, but I got it. Dan23 says Simpsons episode where they order orange juicers from, I think, Japan, and the guy works in a factory, coughs in boxes, and Springfield, and when they open, the germs come out, and they all get ill. Yes, I remember that. I think it was China. But, yeah, somebody coughs in the box, they open it, and the germs actually look like a cloud, like a floating dark cloud. And, yeah, I think Bart gets sick. Alexander, comrade, says Discovery is still your favorite Star Trek show. Comrade, in Soviet Russia, Discovery everyone favorite Trek show. Except for TOS, cause Captain Chekhov, super commie. No, Alexander, I can't say it's not about Discovery being my favorite. Dan23 says the problem with Star Wars 9 is the novelization is going to tell more about what happened before the movie. Well, Dan, don't read the book. It won't be a problem. And Dan23 says Maggie Simpson is my favorite. Dan, I kid you not, the first thumbnail for today's video was the Simpsons family on the blue background where they're all happy, and Marge is holding up Maggie. And what I did was I edited it, so I put crosses in all of their eyes to make them look dead. But I couldn't do that to Maggie. So all the other four others had crossed out eyes, so they looked dead. But Maggie just had a tear coming down her eye, because I didn't want to put crosses in her eyes. Even though The Simpsons is dead, Maggie technically never really spoke, so she's okay. We don't know. She could be okay. So I didn't want to kill off Maggie, even in a thumbnail. That's deep. Ozzy NF says, is Space Engineer server working now, or is it still laggy? It was working fine for me earlier today, Ozzy. I rebuilt the Adams JQ. It's now the Adams JQ-A in true Star Trek fashion. Only because it was the exact duplicate of the ship made by Blueprints. The first time I ever used Blueprints. Yeah, I know. I'm still learning. The first time I ever used Blueprints, and yeah, it worked out. Dan23 says, yes, the new Simpsons every so often repeat the same storylines. Well, they've done so many episodes, they literally, you have to repeat the storyline. Actor says, hi, Pahalakos. Corona says, Bird of Prey, wow, thanks for the heads up. What heads up? Alexander says, Bird of Prey, so The Simpsons is more alive than ever, if I understand. Yes, Alexander, to you, The Simpsons are more alive than ever. Corona says, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Bird, and Nerds, what did I miss? A little ranting, a little raving. I don't know how long you've been here, but, 5:30, 15 minutes. So, yeah, maybe you didn't miss so much. Dan23 says, yes, at the bottom of the robot's head, the wire says Star Trek Discovery. I didn't notice, but then I checked. Yes, lingo. For those who don't know, that's a famous scene from a very good episode of The Simpsons, where Homer is holding Linguo's head. It's at the end of an episode. And now Linguo, for those who don't remember, was the grammar correcting robot that Lisa made for her science fair project. And Homer holds up, because Linguo exploded, and his head landed like a mile away, right next to Homer. And Homer picks up Linguo's head. And Homer says, "Linguo, dead?" And then Linguo says, "Linguo is dead." And then Linguo died. So that was what I used for the actual thumbnail, rather than the eyes crossed out. I felt it was a little bit closer, a little bit more of an in-joke for those who know The Simpsons well. Dan23, yes. So we're gonna get to the Discovery stuff. Actor says, "Beats me. I just joined the circus." Josh Street says, "Kronos, you haven't missed much." Very good. Miss Londell says, "Bird of Prey. There's no way in hell they're going to poke fun at the squad." Well, if they don't want to poke fun at the squad, they don't have to put the squad in. They don't have to do politics at all if they don't want to. But you know what? I don't think any of them would have been too mad if they had made even a little bit of a joke, right? Even a little bit of a joke. It's supposed to be a goddamn comedy after all. Kronos is 23 minutes of nothing. Yeah, that's what it is. Mike Richards says, "Hail to Kronos." Okay. Dan23 says, "Ricky Gervais made a joke about Donald Trump on The Simpsons." Well, I haven't seen it. I don't follow Ricky Gervais. He seems like a pretty funny guy sometimes. But he's not. I don't really follow celebrities that closely, unless it made news for some reason. I probably wouldn't see it. Actor says he is ranting, and you like rants, Kronos. Dan23 says, "I actually like when The Simpsons feature in commercials for things. Well, I used to." Josh Street says, "Kronos Bird is 10 minutes of Simpsons burning things." Actor says, "Who says is still a great show?" Not me, but it was up to a couple of seasons ago. Kronos says, "I will see older episodes of Simpsons, just not the latter years." Well, that's fine. John DeMarco, hashtag rant life. TJ is going, "Read!" Oh, TJ. Dan23 says, "Simpsons tapped out game is not the best game ever." Well, you can't always believe Comic Book Man. He is a bit of a shill. Mystique LeBeau, welcome Mystique. Fox is calling to shut you down. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney was calling, since Disney now owns The Simpsons, which was something The Simpsons predicted. Like so many things The Simpsons predicted, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. It could be 10 videos, not even its own video. It could be its own 10 videos. Kronos says, "DJ, you are alive." He is. DJ says, "Barely." I hope you're feeling okay, DJ. Dan23 says, "The Simpsons say one thing about characters and then change it every 10 years. You know, it's a cartoon. It doesn't have to be perfect." Kronos says, "Hello there, Mystique." John Araki says, "You gotta start answering the phone with ahoy, ahoy." I should. That's how Mr. Burns answers it. And for those who don't get the joke, that's how Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, suggested people answer the phone ahoy, ahoy. Well, actually, ahoy instead of hello. It just never caught on. Never caught on. Kronos says, "After Apu was wiped, I lost interest." Yeah, that was about the same time. For me, too. Mystique says, "Hello, Kronos." Dan3 says, "With crossover from Futurama was wrong." I didn't mind the Futurama crossover. I didn't even mind the Family Guy crossover. Until 2 years ago, I would have said The Simpsons was the better show than Family Guy. No more. Now, I never hated Family Guy, but I would have said The Simpsons was definitively better show. Absolutely not anymore. The Family Guy still makes fun of both sides. They did an episode just a year or two ago making complete fun of millennials and wokeness. Their Family Guy is now 10 times better show than The Simpsons. 100 times better. The Simpsons has gone to 0. Josh Street says Fox wouldn't it be Disney? Yes, it would be Disney. Chrono says because of one dirtbag comedian. Indeed, you don't have to initial it here. He's a dirtbag comedian. He's not even a comedian. You were right to put comedian in quotes. He's a crybaby, whiny loser who figured, I'll use my heritage to get some attention. You know what, crybaby loser? People made fun of you because you were a loser, and they were going to make fun of you no matter what. Calling you Apu when you were growing up was probably the best thing they could have done for you. Because if you didn't have Apu, they would have found something even worse to call you. You should have been lucky they called you Apu. You should have been lucky they only stopped there. Why is no other person of no other race or ethnicity ever complaining about The Simpsons? Right? What Italian Americans, are they going around saying The Simpsons portray us awful and terrible? No. Okay, how are we portrayed on The Simpsons? Well, we got the mafia people, and we got Luigi, the ridiculously over-Italian pizza shop owner. And even when they address it in the show about, hey, we might be going a little hard on Italians, he brings out his little monkey. And he has his monkey playing, I don't know, drums or an accordion or something. It was hilarious. It was hilarious, even if you're Italian. And I mean, The Simpsons, that's the thing. The Simpsons didn't need to apologize to anyone. The Simpsons was diverse before shows became diverse. The Simpsons was woke, so to say, before things became woke. They were the original wokeness. They laid the groundwork for all the things that came after them on TV. Okay? The Simpsons started who were African American characters. A doctor, a judge, and every guy. Carl. You got Carl, you got Dr. Hibbard, the good doctor, not Dr. Nick, and the judge whose name I don't know, but I just know him as the judge. Okay? Those were the three main African American characters on The Simpsons. All of them good people. Okay? Doctor, judge, and just normal guy, right? Carl wasn't, he was just like any other guy in the show. He did on occasion, make some jokes with other African Americans on the show, but that was rare. He was just one of the guys. Okay, that's the best thing you could do for somebody. We had religions. We had all types of religions on the show. We had twins. We had, and nobody was white. Nobody was white, no matter how much they want to say, The Simpsons is just white, white, white. No, they were yellow. They were drawn yellow. They were never white. But, whatever. All gone. It's all gone. All their goodwill, everything they ever tried to do, it's all gone down. It's all gone down the hill. Why did you delete that, Wesley? I hope that was an accident. Dan23, I see you had some comments deleted by Wesley. I hope, unless you went crazy later on. Unless Dan23 went crazy later on, all I've seen so far was an accident. It looks like accidental to me. I know I'm a little far behind. Right, and Smithers. Smithers was there from the beginning. No, Smithers was black in the beginning, and he had a little race change, and then he became homosexual. Gays in The Simpsons. They were one of the first shows to have a gay character from the beginning, and he was not like, oh my God, he's got people were scared of him or anything. No, everybody liked Smithers for the most part. Mr. Burns liked him, but not in that way. But no, I mean, Smithers was just another guy. He hung around. He came into your store. Nobody felt uncomfortable around him. Nobody was making fun of him. He was Smithers. And then later, Lisa's band teacher turned out to be gay. And then they started pulling in some other people. And then they even tried to make Grandpa Simpson transgender a couple of times. It didn't work out so well, thankfully. But yeah, that was there. That was from the show, from its like second season, maybe even before that. Okay, nobody cared. That was good. They were doing like what Star Trek did for diversity. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Have to go. See you later. Take care, Thomas. Hope all's well. It's uncharacteristic, but I understand. Sometimes people just gotta go. Kronos says dirtbag. Yes. And let's see. Dan23 says Family Guy did a crossover with The Simpsons. They absolutely did, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't bad, though. Although the Family Guy crossover was technically a Family Guy episode, not a Simpsons episode. Mike Richards, I'm taking this out of order, says, Bird of Prey, you're a Patian. Patian? My mom was 100% Italian. I'm 50%. Right?
What?
Italian. 50. Oh, the DNA. The DNA says I'm like 50. Yeah. DNA says I'm just over 50% Italian. My father's side was 100% Italian, more or less, and my mom's side was half. Wait, so then I should be 75%. That's right, I'm not. It's weird. We think my dad's side was 100% Italian, and my mom's side was supposed to be 50% Italian. So I thought I was 75.
But my DNA.
Yeah, but mom's DNA is all over the place. She's got people from all over Europe and other places.
Oh, actually, I'm 50% German.
Right. It turned out to be German. Yeah, I gotta check the DNA, but I've always been raised that I was mostly Italian. So yes. But no, I don't speak Italian. Even my grandparents never spoke Italian. So it's not that Italian. Like I was not putting Italian flags on my car or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just wasn't me. And Alexander with a $2 Canadian super chat says Captain Marvel Jr. will always beat Captain Nazi. Captain Redneck is in the house, and I'm sorry, I'm way behind in the chat. I will get it. No, they didn't cancel The Simpsons, Mary. I canceled The Simpsons in my head because after they put out this Trump attack video, it just I couldn't even watch it last season, and this was the nail in the coffin. Captain Redneck says, Bird of Prey, did you ever get that Sailor Jerry's? I'm not sure what we're talking about, Captain Redneck. I will get there. Let me get through. Chrono says, I hope everyone is doing better than The Simpsons. Okay, this is why I asked people to do Bird of Prey 5 so I can skip some messages. Dan23 played Virtual Springfield on PC as a kid, but a lot of the video games kind of suck. Kenwick says Bird is okay. Between Star Trek and The Simpsons, what has Bird made him? What has killed Bird has made him indestructible. What hasn't killed Bird has made him indestructible. Dan23 says, I think Patrick Stewart was on The Simpsons more than once, which kind of ruins it because his first appearance was great. Leonard Nimoy was on The Simpsons, certainly. I'm not sure if it was more than once, but certainly at least, I think twice. There was the monorail episode. He says, I think this vessel can go at least warp 5, and everybody laughs. And Mayor Quimby says, may the force be with you. And Leonard Nimoy says, do you even know who I am? Kronos is DJ, what's the re? I don't know what DJ's reading about. He keeps mentioning someone. Oh, who am I mentioning? Oh, Trump? Is Trump make DJ re? Rambling Canuck says, yeah, they had to repaint City Field. Yeah, it was mainly just people complain to complain. Nick Chaplin says, Qapla bird, how's it in Bayside? It is a little cloudy. It's a little cloudy, but much cooler than the other last few days. Dan23 says, maybe Bird of Prey will sing Do the Bartman. Maybe, although I don't know if Do the Bartman. Actor says, Bird doesn't even know what the NFL means. It means National Football League. He's a kind of nerd, so please maintain the conversation. Kronos says, DJ, you have two choices. And make peeps ask questions, or do nothing. Actor says, within nerd parameters. And DJ says, Kronos, I will let people ask. Josh Reed says, is Patrick Stewart still the voice of the CIA on American Dad? Last I checked, he seemed to be. It certainly sounded like him. Dan23 says, I don't like couch gags, got really long. In the last episodes I saw, some of the times they didn't even do the couch gag. They just did really short intros, which wasn't the worst. Kronos says, NFL, not flaky losers. Canoic says, would be embarrassing for Life with Matthew if he ate 4 bananas during the stream. Probably would be. Dan23 says, the actor who played Data was the voice of the robot on The Simpsons. Yes, that was the episode where Mr. Burns replaces all the plant employees with robots, except for Homer Simpson, and Homer tries to get the robots to make conversation, and he's like, working hard or hardly working? Working hard or hardly working? And the robots are not answering him, and then Homer finds a switch on the back to turn on conversation mode or something, and the robot's voice is Data. Although it looks nothing like Data, but it's a good episode. There were so many good episodes, they just stopped making them. Kronos says, hello, Sassy O'Prey. Thank you, Kronos. She says hello. In her own way. Actors is Bird normally confused, and now we have Alexander as a regular. Yeah. Dan23 says, message deleted. Okay, it says the Simpsons version of the new Star Wars films would be better than what we actually got. I agree. Live with Matthew says, thanks for the kind words. It was hilarious. Little things to remind me to keep humble. Lol. It was, I'll be honest, it wasn't particularly funny. It was just cool. I'm sure it's funny to you now. How many minutes behind? 23 minutes. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Dan23, in the news this year, Apu was who found it racist. Yes. Wesley says, hello, Bird of Prey, crazy Uncle Joe. Welcome, Wes. Dan23 says, it took 30 years for people to say Apu was offensive to Indians. One person, and then other people piled on. Josh Street says, AOC only knows how to dance around a pole, and Bird will be in front telling her to take his money. Take my money! Well, if I gotta pay taxes anyway, I might as well pay it through that way. Joseph Patrick says, Live with Matthew. Live video was exactly how you described it. When I'm recording instructional videos, I do many takes. It was actually cool. It was cool. You should probably consider putting that out. You know, putting like a text description and just making it live. Kronos is Hector. Thanks for switching to Hector. Makes this easier. No longer half Bird. I have no idea how long Bird is behind, and I still have to. There is supposedly a Simpsons movie 2 coming out. I don't think I'll be seeing it. Dan20 says The Simpsons did a couch gag with Bob's Burgers. The Simpsons have done couch gags with virtually every major cartoon. Including they've done South Park, they've done Ren and Stimpy, they've done Rick and Morty, they've done SpongeBob, I think. They've done couch gags and written into the show. Family Guy. I mean, they've done gags and spoofs of every major cartoon series. And they've been going on so long that, man, the same show that had Ren and Stimpy did a crossover with Futurama after Futurama ended. Crazy. Kronos is asking if The Simpsons triggered me. Canwork says, I don't remember what happened in The Simpsons movie 1. Even though I saw it, there was a donut involved. That's all I remember. The Simpsons, well, Homer got a pig, spider pig, and he filled up an entire silo of pig crap, and the government was saying that Springfield was the most polluted city in the United States, and if they got any more polluted, they'd have to do something, and then Homer decided to dump the pig waste into a lake. Oh, because it started off with a concert by, I don't know, Green Day or some band. And so he put the pig waste, the lake became super toxic, and then some crazy guy at the government decided to drop a dome over Springfield. Luckily, the Simpsons escaped because of a sinkhole in the Maggie's sandbox. They got out of the dome and they went to Alaska because they were on the loose. They were being pursued as criminals. And then up in Alaska, Homer and Marge have a fight, and Homer goes on his own. He has a vision with an Inuit woman, and she tells him what he's got to do. So then he comes back to Springfield, and they're going to blow up Springfield at this point. They're going to just turn it into the new Grand Canyon. So they drop a bomb down into the dome. But Homer is back in. Everybody thinks they're about to die. But Homer, while he was on the run to Alaska, Lisa taught him how to ride a motorcycle in a fair and go up and over in a 360. And so now Homer has a motorcycle, so he can use the motorcycle and what he learned to take the bomb out of the dome. And so he does, and they throw the bomb up. Bart goes with him. There's a subplot where Lisa has a boyfriend, and another subplot where Bart becomes more of a fan of Flanders and sees Flanders as a dad instead of Homer. But in the end, Homer tells Bart he can hold the bomb. So he jumps on the motorcycle. They throw the bomb out. The bomb destroys the dome, and dome pieces rain onto Springfield like snow. And that was really it. Then the next season starts, and the first couch gag, or first opening credits, they're still cleaning up the dome. So that made the movie canon to the television. And that was the Simpsons movie in 3 minutes. Dan23 says, Matt is trying to do a Simpsons spin-off based on 22 short stories per episode, but never got made. Okay, I've never heard of that. DJ says, Bird, you should read the comments through that Simpsons vid. People are letting Matt have it for flying on Epstein's plane. My God, she was a girl. She was a 16-year-old girl. She told in excruciating detail how disgusting Matt Groening's feet were. That she claims, forced, I don't know, I wasn't there, forced to rub by Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Matt Groening is not being accused of doing anything sexual. He's not even being accused of doing anything wrong. I'm Matt Groening, but I probably didn't know how old the woman was or the girl was. All he knows is that he was on Epstein's plane, and Epstein said, let my girl give you a foot massage, and he did, and she gave him a foot massage, and according to her, she was throwing up in her mouth by how disgusting his feet were and his toes were, and all this nastiness on his feet. And that was it. He left, and you know, nothing ever happened. Nothing else ever happened. So we shouldn't attack, for all the things that I hate about Matt Groening for what he's done to The Simpsons. Don't give him shit about Epstein's plane. I'll be honest. He didn't do anything. Okay? Just because you go on a guy's plane, it doesn't mean you know everything about the guy or his business. Rich people, they have the planes. They let other rich people on their planes. They talk, they have a good time, they land, they get off, and they might never even see the other person again. It's just something rich people do. Dan23 says, one of my Simpsons episode is worst Simpsons episode ever. Well, of course, one episode is always going to be the worst episode ever of any series. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, number 1 is Very Well Burgers. I'm not sure, Dan. Spider Pig, yes, Spider Pig. And Alexander says, Aunt May naked right now. Wes, you don't need to delete Aunt May naked right now. Dan23 says, Dome over Springfield. Nick Chaplin says, today weather was fantastic in our neck of woods. Neither hot nor humid, indeed. Dan23 says, they did a Star Trek end credit scene once. They did, and I made a video. I don't know if I made a video. I made a post about it on my forum. It was great. Cronus says, Bird of Prey, Moho equal Prey for Mojo. Mojo. Wesley says, I'm going to try something. And Wesley says, oops, sorry. Alexander says, Simpsons is so great. Jokes are funny. And Dan23 says, Hans Moleman once claimed he was only 31 years old, implying heavy drinking made him look so aged. He was also the town's mayor before Quimby. Nick Chaplin says, I was never a Simpsons fan. Ricky Gervais is not a great comedian, in my opinion. I wouldn't say he was a great comedian, but sometimes he does funny stuff. Sometimes he does funny stuff. And I forgot to take my 5 o'clock pill, which I'm just realizing. Kronos' Family Guy is losing it as well. Well, they haven't gotten there yet, but they might be. And amen, Bird of Prey Peach, says Kronos. Thank you. Okay, I'm skipping to just the ones that actually say Bird of Prey 5. And then we will get to Star Trek news, and then I will get back to Simpsons. Mike Richards is Bird of Prey. Yes, I'm Italian. Redneck says Captain Nazi here. Any questions? Oh, you're Captain Nazi. I have no problem with Captain Redneck, Alexander. I don't, just, if you don't like what he says, ignore him. Captain Rex says, Bird of Prey, did you ever get that Sailor Jerry's? I still don't know what that is. Kronos liked the crossover episode with the Family Guy. Captain Redneck says, I'm 100% red, white, and blue-blooded American. Understood, Captain. Alexander gave a super chat about Captain Marvel beating Captain Nazi. DJ Odyssey says, Mary, not yet, but they put out a video that ticked off a bunch of people. Yeah, I had so many. We'll look at the video later. So many more dislikes than likes. Redneck says, F the Simpsons, Trump 2020 or die. Well, I don't know if you should go that extreme, but yes, F the Simpsons. Captain says, Sailor Jerry. Oh, the rum! The rum! Yeah, here's the problem, Captain. And Sailor Jerry's is not in New York. We checked. I Googled it. They don't have any places selling Sailor Jerry's in or around New York. So, Captain Redneck, you tell me. I still set it aside. You tell me what you want. I will get Mama Prey a different rum or a different beverage of your choice. Thank you. I'm so sorry, but yes, we looked into Sailor Jerry's. It's just not available here, surprisingly. I mean, unfortunately, it was like an hour away, but you know we don't have any way of getting an hour away to buy it. Sailor Jerry's was the rum he had put in. Yeah, right. We couldn't. There was nowhere around here that had it. Remember, we looked.
Malibu rum.
Mama Prey says she likes Malibu rum. So if you give the okay for Malibu rum, Captain, if you're still here.
Malibu rum with pineapple.
Malibu rum with pineapple juice. I will make sure Mama Prey gets some Malibu rum with pineapple juice. Captain says F the Simpsons. Okay. Mary says it means no shock what they're liberals. Yeah, Mary, but they've always been liberals. But they always used to make fun of both sides, make jokes when there were jokes. And they've cut it. They've killed part of the show. And yes, Brent Spiner appeared on The Simpsons. Alexander says Captain Nazi is a scumbag. It's a fact. I hear you, Alexander. Some people feel that way. I understand. I don't particularly feel that way, but you're entitled to your opinion. DJ says, shaking my head, Bird. Why? Who do I always have to re about? Captain Redneck says DJ. No, he's not. DJ says Simpsons video has 2.9k thumbs up, 35k thumbs down. Lol. Okay. So they have 10 more thousand thumbs down since I've last seen it, and 400 more thumbs up. DJ says, no, Redneck, it's a certain female. Oh, I gotcha. AOC. Mary says, could there be another reason why the video has 3.5k downvotes? Yeah, 35,000 people don't like it. Mary says, DJ, like maybe someone whose last name starts with an E. No, I don't know. Who starts with an E? Kronos is Spider-Pig. Spider-Pig. Nobody does what Spider-Pig does. Mary says the movie I thought was actually good. I bought the movie on DVD, on Blu-ray, on pay-per-view on cable, and on Amazon. Just because I wanted to show my support to the movie that much. DJ suggests liberals don't like to talk about, Epstein. Unless it's to attack Trump as well. I don't think Epstein had anything to do with the downvotes. Corona says, or what knows what is who know, or what that knows what a Spider-Pig does. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, Simpsons is amazing. It's incredible to laugh about all that jokes on a weekly basis. Oh, did I mention her? I didn't know I mentioned her. Sorry, DJ. Sorry. We don't have to mention Sister of Prey anymore. Unless she calls. Or something relevant comes up. So, Alexander says he laughs to The Simpsons on a weekly basis. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, you forgot that Dr. Nick died from those snowflakes in the movie. Well, that wasn't canon. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, sorry, just put my phone in my pocket mid-text. Wes, that's one strike. Alexander says, Bird, I'm close to having, to have all what has been published of Red Sonja. Very cool, Alexander. Ozzy says, Sailor Jerry's a rum. Yes, and it was so long ago, but thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, Jar Jar Binks is an amazing character. You know, he was an extraordinary character, I'll say that. Azine says, hey, Bird of Prey, and all my fellow nerds, how are we today? Not bad, Azine, just doing a little Simpsons rant. Joseph says, good night, everybody, listening but half asleep. Mary says, I also own the movie on DVD and got those figurines as well. Kronos says, Joseph Pedrick, understandable. Wesley says, what movie? The Simpsons movie. DJ reads, Kronos lulls. Okay. And I lost all my windows. There we go. We're back. I'm guessing Captain Redneck is gone. I will talk to him on Discord about the Malibu rum. They also pulled. That's what they started doing. They were pulling old episodes of The Simpsons. They were pulling old episodes of The Simpsons that had been out for 25 years or 28 years. They pulled an episode that was, the Michael Jackson episode. The season premiere, I believe, of season 3 was an episode that Michael Jackson voiced over using a fake name. So you had a guy that looked nothing like Michael Jackson pretending to be Michael Jackson as a mental patient, who was clearly not Michael Jackson, just had a Michael Jackson-like voice. And it turned out years later it was revealed it was Michael Jackson, even though he wasn't legally allowed to give his voice, he had to use a fake name to do it. So nowhere in that episode is Michael Jackson even credited in being in that episode. But 20-something years later, 28 years later, they've erased the episode from history. Right? Any future DVD prints won't have the episode on it. Any future streaming services or current streaming services have pulled it. So even if you get Disney and you pay for it, you will never be able to get that episode again unless you have it A, on DVD yourself, which I do, or you pirate it, which you should, because you should get that one episode, because if they're going to pull it, you have a right to see it. Okay? They shouldn't be trying to erase history. Okay? The fact that Michael Jackson diddled some kids isn't going to change because the Simpsons did an episode that had his voice in it. Or you tell him, Sassy. Okay? The Simpsons pulling that episode isn't going to undiddle those kids. And it's not going to stop future kids from being diddled. People listening to Michael Jackson don't just say, hey, I know, I'm going to go out and diddle some kids today. That's bullshit. Okay? Michael Jackson was an amazing artist, performer, singer. Okay? He was also probably a monster to kids. Okay? It doesn't mean he wasn't also a great performer, and he's going to have music. And it would be stupid to get rid of all of his music because of something else he did. Okay, the man is dead. He can't be prosecuted. He's not getting any of the money from it. So there's nothing else you can do. He's going to pay for his crimes in the afterlife, if you believe in it. Or if you don't, then he got off. He did it. He beat the system. Getting rid of his music that you love, that's just, cutting off your nose to spite your face. Why the hell would you stop running The Simpsons? He wasn't even getting any money off of it. He wasn't getting residuals. He wasn't credited in the episode. There is no reason to get rid of that episode. It is so stupid. And it's one of the best episodes of the series. And that was like the main thing that killed the series for me last season, was them saying they were going to pull the season 3 premiere because they had Michael Jackson's voice. It is an uncredited role in an episode where Michael Jackson never even appears. It's crazy. It's craziness. People shouldn't be okay with this stuff happening. That should have caused a riot. That should have caused a riot outside of Fox Studios, which now are Disney. That you're going to change our history because some guy did something who's been long dead. Decades ago. No, decades ago from when they pulled the episode.
Oh.
No. So yeah, that thing more than anything I think upset me. Ozzy says, Bird of Prey, The Simpsons have been irrelevant for years. To you, Ozzy, perhaps. I'll be honest, I was defending them up to 2 years ago. I really didn't think they got them too bad. They weren't as funny, but realistically, they were still pretty damn good for broadcast television up until 2 years ago. Kronos is Bird of Prey. It's called Revisionist History. It is indeed. DJ says if you're going to pull it, you have to pull... Yeah. If you're going to pull it, you have a right to see it. If you're going to pull it, you have a right to see it. Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I said. Ozzy says, I'm going to go out and diddle some... No, I did not say that. That was completely out of context. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, I went to like the video about Trump. Of course you did, Alexander. And you're entitled to your opinion. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, it shows Michael Jackson as he was a nut job. Yeah, well... If anything, the actor whose voice played the bricklayer or whatever he turned out to be should be the guy who was upset that his voice, people would equate his image with that of Michael Jackson in any way. And Chrono says it was too late. It was quoted. Well, here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to take a little break from The Simpsons. And I want to talk to you because I don't know. We got to talk about Discovery. And it is a disturbing find I've made. And I don't have an answer. And I don't know. Maybe you guys do. So here we're going to now this Doomcock did a video. Doomcock did a video on a tweet that then became a Doomcock video that then became an article here in Bounding Into Comics. Okay? And people have been talking about this, but Google Trends chart hints CBS Discovery might be a complete failure. Now, if you're a Doomcock subscriber, if you've seen Doomcock's video, and here's a link here. Here's a link here in this article in Bounding Into Comics. Is basically Google has had, and now Doomcock was wrong. It's not a new tool. Google Trends have been around for years and decades, probably. Google has this Trends tool that you can use to see how terms are trending online in their online searches. So you can use it to see how any one term is doing, or you could do it to compare the relative popularity of 2 or more terms. And so what this guy did that tweeted Doomcock, and I don't know who that was, he says that he went to Google Trends and he put in Star Trek Discovery on one side and Star Trek The Next Generation in the other. And according to him, and according to Doomcock in his video, Star Trek The Next Generation far exceeded Star Trek Discovery in the number of search results, searches over the past 2 years. And so this guy in the Bounding Into Comics article says he did the same thing. And he said he did it with others. So here we have Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek The Next Generation, and the Orville. The Orville is in yellow. Star Trek The Next Generation is in red. And Star Trek Discovery is that blue on the bottom line. Okay? It looks like it's completely irrelevant. Nobody is searching for it except a little peak over here. The Orville, far, far, far more popular. And even Star Trek The Next Generation, a show that has been off the air for 2 decades or more, is 4 times more popular, if not more, than Star Trek Discovery. John Araki gave a $2 super chat, death to Turtistan. Indeed, John Araki, death to Turtistan. I don't know what you're going to get yet, but you'll get something soon. So, yeah. So they did this for Next Generation. You got some spaceships. So they did this for Next Generation. They did this for Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And again, you can see, and the Next Generation, here you can see the Next Generation is the peak popularity. You've got Star Trek Voyager is the yellow, and you've got Discovery and Deep Space Nine are both around the bottom. Now this is what got me curious, because I did not believe Star Trek Deep Space Nine would be so low because of the Deep Space Nine documentary that's been coming out for a while. And there didn't seem to be any peaks in Deep Space Nine, which there should be. So then they went on in this article, and here is Star Trek Discovery versus Star Trek Enterprise. And again, Discovery's in blue, and except for 1 week, where I guess Discovery Season 2 premiered or something, Enterprise beats Discovery by a tremendous amount in popularity. So I was like, this is great, right? I saw this, and I was like, This is great. I love it. The Discovery is failing. It is so great that the next generation is getting so much more clicks and views than Discovery. I mean, the case is closed. Discovery is a complete failure, right? If Star Trek The Next Generation, a series that had, that's been gone for 25 years or something, maybe more, if that series gets more Google views right now than Star Trek Discovery, a series that's in production, the game's over, right? We won. I thought that was awesome. But here's the problem. I actually went to Google Trends. And first I ran Star Trek Deep Space Nine versus Discovery just to see. And to my surprise, Star Trek Discovery was far exceeding Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So, after a few comparisons, like what's broken here, I went and I reran the search, even though they're showing us the picture. They're showing us the picture for, where is it? Here. Well, this has a couple of things. This is Star Trek The Next Generation, the Orville. But here, this one has Star Trek The Next Generation, which is in red, versus Discovery, which is in blue along the bottom. So this just shouldn't have the yellow. So we should be saying that this, I'm sorry, we don't need Kissy Dax. This is what it should look like, but this is what it looks like. Star Trek Discovery versus Star Trek The Next Generation. Star Trek Discovery over the last 2 years, according to Google Trends, has gotten a lot more hits. Okay? There's a short time between April 15th, 2018 and probably December 2018 where they both get quite a little. Okay? And maybe there's some back and forth. But clearly when Discovery was announced and when Discovery started, and then less so, but during season 2, it's quite clear that Discovery had got 7 times as much views or as much Google trending mentions, whatever, Google searches than Star Trek The Next Generation. But how could that be? And I said, well, I was like, oh, maybe it's because they wrote Star Trek, Discovery. Right? Maybe Google does that differently. But the answer is no. It's the exact same graph. And you can confirm it's the exact same graph by doing Star Trek Discovery without the colon, and they're the exact same. They're the same lines. There's no difference. So these are the same search terms. Google is smart enough to not let the colon or the capitalization matter. So again, we'll do Star Trek Discovery versus Star Trek, The Next Generation. Exactly as it was in Doomcock's video, and exactly as it was in that article. And holy crap, Star Trek Discovery is far exceeding Star Trek The Next Generation. Let's go to a graph that's right in. There was absolutely no difference. Star Trek Enterprise. Star Trek Discovery versus Star Trek Enterprise. Okay? And this starts 7/21/2017 and ends today, 8/23/2019. All categories web search and for the United States. So let's go back to this. And here we go. This is the graph they're showing us in this article. Star Trek Space Discovery versus Star Trek Space Enterprise in the United States from 7/21/17 to 8/21/19. So 2 days ago. So except for the last 2 days, graph should be exactly the same. all categories in web search. The graphs are wrong. The graphs are wrong. I don't know if Google changed it. I have to believe. I don't know what to believe. All I know is that this is the search they ran, and I'm getting vastly different results when bounding into comic. This shows Star Trek The Next Generation wildly more popular, except for one blip on Star Trek Discovery. This shows Star Trek Discovery, not wildly, but more popular than Star Trek The Next Generation. I don't understand what I did wrong. I don't understand the difference. The colon matters? I don't think it does. Star Trek The Next Generation versus Star Trek The Next Generation. No colon. Star Trek. That was still Discovery. The Next Generation. Nope, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Star Trek The Next Generation with a colon versus Star Trek The Next Generation without a colon. And I've done it every way. Believe me. I've done one with colon, one without, caps, caps. I've done the exact same. Right here, you can see. Plain as day. If you can't see it, I will make it bigger, I think. I think I can. Shit, it makes the picture smaller. But here's what we'll do. We'll copy the image. We will post it in to Imager. DJ got banned from Facebook for that image. Come on, Imager. Work. I need you. I need you. Okay, fine. We can, really? Imager is down? That sucks. That sucks. Fine. Here's what we'll do. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is Google. Let's see. Copy image. Copy image address. There we go. Nice and big. Star Trek : Discovery. Star Trek : Enterprise. United States 7/21/17 to 8/21/19. All categories web search. Okay? That's all there is. So let's go to Google. Star Trek : Discovery versus, oh, I need to hit enter. Star Trek: Discovery, enter, versus Star Trek : Enterprise. And there we go. Okay. We'll do custom range. We will do through 8/21. You know what? Let's do it exactly the same. Let's do it exactly the same range. Oh, shit. Exactly the same range. Not that it'll make any real difference. So this is exactly the same range. And it's different. I don't know. I don't know if this is fake news. I don't know if this is intentional. Or I don't know if Google did something to change the metrics, which sounds crazy to me. But I don't know. I trust Doomcock. I don't know the guy he got this from. I assume Doomcock said he ran his own searches. He ran a search for moldy cheese. So I assume Doomcock did the searches. I trust Doomcock. I trust Bounding into Comics. I don't know what happened. It's not the colons. So let's see. Ozzy says not Discovery. John Araki with his super chat earlier, Death to Turtestan. Mary says, Kronos, in my opinion, the question mark makes it harder for CBS to sue something. I don't know what that was. Mary says, it's so flat. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, I watch Bernie Sanders rallies live on Facebook. Good for you, Alexander. Comrade. Good for you, comrade. Mary Highland says, I think TNG is the most popular Star Trek show, followed by TOS. It might be. I don't know. Kenwick says 10 to 20 million people watch TNG each week in the 90s. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, I think that TNG has a lot of views because of the Picard series. But, Alexander, the same views are going back 2 years. They hadn't even thought of the Picard series 2 years ago. In fact, it's kind of surprising that the TNG views, this is Enterprise, but the TNG views had only a minor blip from Picard, right? And here's the thing. Oh, that's interesting. Star Trek versus Star Trek Discovery. Huh. All of Star Trek had the same bump. That's interesting. So I don't know. Mary says, Alexander, I always thought it was the kids who were watching TNG when it was first on TV and now adults watching reruns via streaming. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, speaking against Discovery boosts the search. Yes, now that's the thing. Just because people are searching for Discovery doesn't mean they like Discovery. Understand that these bumps, these could be people talking about hating Discovery, right? If you search for why does Star Trek Discovery suck, that counts as a search for Star Trek Discovery. That said, if nobody's talking about your product, it's a pretty good chance that you know the product's dead. Now, as far as I know, Star Trek Discovery has never, ever trended on Twitter. Is Twitter the make-all, break-all? No. But, every day something stupid trends on Twitter. If even nothing from Discovery has ever trended on Twitter, and the Orville often does, that's something to be said that, hey, people aren't watching your show or aren't caring about your show much. And Kronos says, what's with all the colons? Wesley says, Bird of Prey, I want to say sorry to everyone on the server. I've been so busy this week. I want to thank Cinnabon for keeping the server running. He's, of course, talking about the Space Engineer server, Anti-Trigger Space Engineer server. Mary Highland says, I personally thought Enterprise improved, but it was too late to save the show. I thought it was. I thought Enterprise was actually a pretty... At the time, I hated Enterprise. I stopped watching it. In hindsight, 10 years later, when I watched it again for the first time on streaming, I loved it. Okay? Enterprise gets better every time I watch the series. Even the first season and the second season, I actually like them better than the third. I like them better than the whole Xindi war. Mary says, Bot. Mike Richards says, we still love you, Wes. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, I think Voyager is the most popular series. 7 of 9 is in it. Ozzy says, those graphs can't honestly represent if Disco is failing or not. We'll never know unless CBS releases the actual numbers. While I agree we need numbers, we can tell if a show relatively, if the numbers that were in these graphs were correct. Okay? Absolutely, we can say Discovery is a failure. Okay, because Star Trek Enterprise, prior to Discovery, was by far the least popular of all the Star Trek series. It only ran for 4 seasons. It doesn't have the love that TOS got. Now, TOS only ran for 3 seasons, but millions and millions and millions of people were Trekkies. and have fond memories of TOS. Far less people have such memories of Enterprise. So if Enterprise is getting far more views than Discovery or comments talks about, impressions, whatever Google tracks, then Discovery, this is proof that Discovery is a failure. Numbers are no numbers. I can accept this as proof. The problem is I can't replicate this graph. And if I can't replicate this graph, I can't accept it as proof. I can't accept it as proof. Alexander says Barbed Wire is an excellent movie. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm going to play a couple commercials. You know, old-timey commercials. I'll do some things, and then we'll be back, and we're going to talk more about The Simpsons. And if you guys have any theories as to why this isn't working, I'd love to hear them. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Your cat is your friend, and he depends on you to take good care of him. Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow. You can depend on Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow. Chow, chow, chow.
He depends on me for loving care, and I depend on Purina Cat Chow to give him great taste and nutrition.
Purina Cat Chow. You can depend on Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow. Chow, chow, chow.
Just 1 calorie. Tap, tap, cola. What a beautiful drink. Tap, tap, cola. For beautiful people. Tap, tap, cola. It's beautiful to be so good and sugar-free. Tap.
If we lived in a world where all women were the same, they'd need only one shampoo. Clairol introduces 7 shampoos for the real world, where all women are different. Clairol Essence shampoos, each with its own natural botanical. Aloe Essence for extra body. Chamomile Essence for beautiful highlights. Ginseng Essence for conditioning. 7 Clairol Essence shampoos that make your difference beautiful. Clairol Essence shampoos.
Go on. Why resist it?
Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin. Give in, give in, give in to the taste. Cool and refreshing, deliciously tempting.
It tastes like jello to me.
How can it be? Give in, give in, give in to the taste.
It's made with NutraSweet.
And it's only 8 calories.
Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin. Give in, give in, give in to the taste.
You got a date, skin's looking great, cause Clearasil's ace. Face to face. See you at 8, skin's looking great, CJ's the place. Face to face.
Clearasil gives you great-looking skin, even close up. Inside, it kills bacteria to dry the pimple.
Clearasil's ace. Face to face.
Outside, it soaks up all the excess oil.
Feeling first rate, cause skin's looking great, cause Clearasil's ace.
Clearasil, for skin that looks great, even close up.
Face to face.
Read about tennis tots, political posters, and the miniseries Shogun, all in the new issue of TV Guide magazine.
Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the...
Read about tennis tots, political posters, and the miniseries Shogun, all in the new issue of TV Guide magazine.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I hit this by mistake and started ending the stream. Very, very sorry. No, we're not ending. Don't worry. We got a little bit left to go. Oh, man. Yeah, Cat Chow commercial. Tab boyfriend, indeed. Nostalgia. Love the nostalgia. Wesley wants some Jell-O. Sugar-free. Kronos is Anti-Trigger. Hey, A&T, I'm sure you will ignore this. Is Anti-Trigger here? Anti-Trigger says, hey, Kronos. Anti-Trigger. Welcome, Anti-Trigger. I got it, Anti-Trigger. I showed it off at the beginning of the stream. It is amazing. I love it. I have to remember not to hit it while I'm doing things, otherwise I could inadvertently end the stream. But Anti-Tracker sent me the stream deck, and it makes streaming so much easier. I feel like an idiot. I didn't get this the day I heard about it. It would have made life so much easier this past year. So welcome, Anti-Tracker. I figured I'd end by 7:15, 7:30. I wasn't going to go too late. Why? You have something to do early? You can come on early? Nobody's going to ignore you, Kronos. Kronos says, later, everyone. Anti-Trigger says, lol, I thought the stream was ending. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get your hopes up. How long are you going? Yeah, like till 7:30. Kronos says, Qapla, I'm so sorry. The show didn't end. The show didn't end. Yeah. And Wesley says, Anti-Trigger's not here. You all lost your minds. Anti-Trigger, I don't know if you were here, but Sassy. Wow. Sassy is not happy. Mama Prey is doing something, and Sassy is not happy. Mama Prey is not here to watch over her. Anti-Trigger says, I don't have to, but will likely start streaming when you are done. Just working on the Goliath. Understood. So, guys, I just want to do a little bit more Simpsons talk. I think we probably got through most of it, but The Simpsons was so great. I mean, I might do a video on it. Sassy girl. There are so many great episodes. I mean, the Frank Grimes episode. And I mean, they kept going back to Frank Grimes in so many episodes later on. You see his tombstone. It's always in disheveled condition. Nobody's keeping it up. The tombstone always says "grimy" on it because that was Homer's nickname for Frank Grimes, even though Frank Grimes hated that nickname. Reverend Lovejoy didn't know him, so he had to learn everything he knew about him from Homer. So, of course, his entire eulogy was messed up. And then, of course, we get his son later on, which was an interesting reminder. Of course, doesn't really make sense. We never heard about him ever having a son, but, you never know. You never know. And it showed like all of his past stuff was canon about going into space and winning Grammys. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, good old Grimy. I don't know what I think my favorite episode is the Hank Scorpion episode. And that's what, for those who were here when I started the stream, and I'll just show it for a second. I started the stream with a scene from You Only Move Twice, which was likely my favorite Simpsons episode. It's so hard to tell. And they had so many great songs, right? They had so many great songs in The Simpsons. The Simpsons were instrumental in me learning to appreciate music. Okay? I've told the story before, but I didn't listen to music for a big part of my life. As a kid, as a teenager even, I didn't care for music, which was, you were a weird kid in high school if you didn't even know the name of any songs, let alone ever listen to music. You were a weird guy, which I was. It was only when I first started college that I actually, or maybe the last year of high school, first year of college, probably that summer, that I first started experimenting with music, and it was Simpsons songs along with Frank Sinatra being played at Yankee games, which helped bring me from the realm of not knowing anything about music to being a Sinatra fan to finding some other artists. Now, I still probably don't listen to music nearly as much as 99% of people. But at least I know it. At least I appreciate it. Okay? At least some of it I appreciate. So, yeah, Simpsons has been important to me. Not as much as Star Trek. Okay, Star Trek, especially Deep Space Nine, those were my formative years. I learned a lot from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The Simpsons was a comedy. It was there for me when I needed to laugh, which was a lot. And they used to be so anti-establishment. They used to be so anti-PC. The Simpsons was the un-PC show. And now that they've come almost full circle, but calling it full circle almost sounds too good. It's like full shitcole. I don't know. How do you go from being the most un-PC show to being the most woke show? Or why are you even trying? I mean, did Disney just drive a dump truck full of money up to Matt Groening's house? Which, of course, if you know the show, is a reference to when Krusty said they drove a dump truck full of money up to his house, and that's why he put his name on terrible merchandise for kids. Johnny Rocky with a $2 super chat says, Sassy needs some alpaca companionship. Thank you, Johnny Rocky. I think DJ, if you're still here, close your ears. I think Sister O'Prey would agree. Yes, Mary liked the Hank Scorpion episode too. I think everybody liked the Hank Scorpion episode. And you know what? Since they got rid of Apu, and I hated it. But they brought back, I think his name is Seamus. He's the one-armed, crazy right-wing guy who was in the first couple seasons. But then they kind of wrote him out because they didn't need another shop owner. They had Apu, and Apu was just a funnier character and was easier for them to write for because they could identify with Apu. But they brought in Seamus for, a few episodes, the Vigilante episode, and when they needed him to be a bad guy once. But in the last 3 or 4 years, you can see they've been planning on taking Apu out. They've been bringing Seamus back in, which I would have loved to have him in the show this whole time, but to bring him back to replace Apu, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Wesley says, I never really watched The Simpsons. Yeah, you're too young. I hated how The Simpsons ride took over the Back to the Future ride at Universal Studios Hollywood. No, I've never been there, so. Well, actually, I've been there as a kid. I was there when I was a young kid, long before Back to the Future or The Simpsons. Canoic says that's what happens when everyone on the Simpsons staff has more money than they know what to do with, I suppose. And DJ is reading. And John Araki is doing hashtag ban Wiley. Yeah. Good night, all heading to dinner with a female. Human too, says DJ. Congrats, DJ. Have a great time on your dinner. Don't think about Sister O'Prey. Guys, I think that'll be it for tonight. We talked Simpsons. I'm feeling bad. Feeling pretty bad about the Simpsons. I'm also fighting a cold. My throat has had this itchiness that feels like it's going to be a sore throat because Anti-Tracker smeared his germs on the Streamlabs, and I hit it again by mistake. Smeared his germs on the Streamlab he sent me, so it got me sick. But it was still a very nice gesture for him to send it. Thank you, Mary. It was nice having you here. I hope you come back. I stream just about every day. Monday and Fridays are Bed Life streams, where we kind of talk about anything. And other days of the week, I usually do a game or something else. But things are different most days of the week. Qapla, thank you, Kronos. Yes, I figured it out, Anti-Tracker. Biological warfare. A dirty, dirty turd tactic. So horrible. Qapla, well, take care. I'll see you on Anti-Tracker's stream, which he says is starting soon. Thank you all for watching my video. please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care. Wesley says the Florida Universal Studios has the same ride. I've been there. Kronos says, I feel better. Thanks, Kronos. Mary said she found me through Anti-Trekker and Nerdrotic. Oh, thank you, Anti-Trekker and Nerdrotic. And Wesley says he hopes I feel better. Thank you again, Wes. Good night, all.